Hi folks, Caroline here, and today I want to talk to you about life, about the phases of life, the transitions that we go through, the different chapters in the book of life. We all go through phases, don't we, different chapters in our own life, which are kind of sub-stories, and each new chapter heralds new experiences, new people in our lives, and I think as we go through the book we grow. We learn, we grow, we transform, we develop. So I was having a chat to my school friend last week in Washington about the different versions of ourselves, and we reckon that we're currently on about Caroline version 3.0, and I think Karen's probably about the same as well. So that means that this is the third incarnation, if you like, of Caroline throughout my life. Started a career in the IT world. It's business software, accounting software is what I kind of fell into. Didn't choose it, it just kind of happened. And I progressed up the career ladder and that was that. And just assuming that kind of at some point in that journey I would meet somebody, get married, have a family and move into the next phase of my life. Well, that didn't happen. So, age 35, I was kind of panicking a bit, thought I would have had a family by then. As it happened, I hadn't really had a relationship in order to bring about a family, so I was panicking. And then got made redundant, lost my job, got laid off. And I thought at that point, do you know what? I need to make some radical changes. Life hasn't transpired the way I thought it would. Career-wise, fine, yes, everything else professionally fine, but the personal side, the family side was missing. And so I thought, well, I need to figure out what's going on. And so I took some time out, decided to change my life completely, leave the 9 to 5, because I thought that was the problem. I thought that was why I hadn't met somebody, was because I was working too much and didn't have the time or the energy to date or to really even look after myself, so that I wasn't really there to look after anyone else. That's what I thought I needed to do. And I also thought that if I did want to become a mum, I'd want a job that would allow me to be there for my kids and be more flexible in my working hours and so on. Anyway, long story short, I became a cruise ship photographer. So that was version 2.0 of Caroline, where I suddenly prioritised life, fun, travel, photography, passions, and went off to sea. Worked on cruise ships for 3 years. Fantastic experience. Totally lived, totally loved, totally enjoyed, and that kind of helped set me free from the mindset of the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, 25 days holiday a year, or however much I got, and awoken me to a whole new way of living. But also I discovered a lot more about myself in the process. It was the first job where I really felt I could be myself. People just accepted me for who I was. I didn't need to try to be something I wasn't. I didn't need to try to dress in a certain way to create the right impressions. I mean, yeah, we had a uniform and stuff, but I was just myself. And I grew a lot, personally and professionally. I learnt photography commercially and absolutely loved that. And then the next stage of my life was year before last, 2018. I was then 38, and my best friend died. And that was another wake-up call. That was another event that kind of kicked me out of the comfort zone and said, right, Caroline, you're having fun, this is great, you're enjoying life on the cruise ships, but is this still what you wanted? Still wasn't getting the family, still wasn't closer to that dream. Being away on ships for 6 months at a time, a bit difficult to have a family. So, and the people that I was meeting on board, while I was having a lot of fun, I don't think they shared the same values of me. Real family values of being at home, looking after, children being almost the centre of your world. And so when Anya died, I decided, right, Caroline, you're running out of time. Or should I say 38, you're running out of time to have children, and time to carry on, move on with that journey. And so that's how I quit my job as a photographer on cruise ships and came home, and that brought me to the SFM last year. And that is when I think I started Caroline 3.0, when I really, really, really started to look inward instead of outward, look inside to see. And so recording, yeah, so I thought we weren't recording for a minute. Yeah, look inside and start to realise that the things I wanted were inside me. And it wasn't about the external world, it wasn't about the environment, the job, where I lived, that would bring me happiness and fulfilment. It was looking inside. And that's when I really started to get to know myself and accept myself for who I was, and start to let go of some of the barriers that had prevented me from actually getting into a relationship for all those years, which were self-esteem, self-worth. I thought I was too fat, I thought I was too tall, I thought I was too clumsy, I thought I was too intimidating, I thought I was, I don't know, all sorts of things I had in my head that were the reasons why nobody would love me. And I learned that I had to love myself first. And so that's where I'm at now, is version 3.0 of Caroline, is learning to accept myself and love myself and find happiness wherever I am. Happiness is within, not without. And so that was a very long-winded way of talking about the different versions and the different chapters in life. But just to tie it all up, something I read, was introduced to actually at the beginning of my SFM journey, was by Wayne Dyer, Dr. Wayne Dyer, a spiritual guide, who talked about something from, oh God, I can't remember who. Was it the Tao Te Ching? I can't remember. But somewhere, some philosopher, way back when, talked about the different phases of life in terms of evolution as human beings, not as a race, but as individual human beings. And that was to talk about the morning, the afternoon, and the evening of our lives. And how he categorised these stages of our life were, the first stage, the morning of our lives, is all about attainment. It's all about trying to get something, trying to attain a certain status, a certain career, whether it's to attain a house, whether it's to attain a car, whether it's to attain a good job, whether it's to attain a partner. It's to get something. It's all external, it's all getting something from outside. And it's all about striving, sort of working towards something, heading in a direction, and almost not being satisfied with where you are, because you're constantly eyes on the prize ahead, looking at what you haven't got and trying to get it. And then move into, at some point, and now not everybody does, some people stay in that stage for their entire life, but some people, maybe slightly more, I don't know, enlightened people, then transition into the afternoon of their life. And this is where your motivations and your goals change. They shift subtly from attainment to meaning. And so at that stage in your life, it's all about finding meaning and purpose in your life. So when you've got the big house, or even if you haven't, you stop thinking about the big house or the nice holidays or the nice car, because that's just all superficial really, isn't it? Does that actually make you happier inside, personally, deep in here? And I think the answer to that is no. And so that's the kind of phase I think I moved into when I was 35, lost my job. Well, in fact, before that, I knew that there was something more. I knew that there was more meaning to be had in life. I just didn't know how to go about finding it. And it wasn't until I lost my job that I got the kick up the backside that was needed to actually shift me into stop thinking about it and start doing something about it. And again, I knew a few years ago that I was getting closer, but I still wasn't quite there. And it was when Anya died that gave me the next kick up the backside to say, right, keep going, keep pushing, keep moving forward, searching for that purpose, whatever it is that gives me a meaning to my life. And so yes, that's where I am now. So a bit of a ramble there, folks. Sorry about that, that's my style. That's who I am. But just maybe something to reflect on in your own life, about where you think you are in your life. How many versions of yourself have you been through? And I wonder how many are still to come. But yeah, thinking about that, moving from attainment to meaning, from the morning of your life to the afternoon of your life, because I've certainly found it so much more rewarding being in that state of mind and finding meaning in myself, rather than trying to find it in somebody else. So there we go, that's my little thought for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed that, and it gives you a little bit something to think about. And I shall leave it there and just gonna show you quickly, because I just love this countryside. That's where I'm headed over there to my town. Fletchlade, lovely little bridge behind me there. And that's our lovely church. Isn't that beautiful? Alright folks, have a wonderful day and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye for now.